because his big paw went around my neck, and I thought all he has to do is just twist that wrist, and I'll be just in all sorts of trouble. But it's 946 games for Ray Hunt. So it started in 1979 when the league first started. He actually started officiating before that in the Victorian State League. So over 40 years contribution to this game. So well done.
And here we go as the Melbourne Tigers get the tip and Lucas Walker reels it in. Just needs to pop one of those top hats on. He looked like that guy on the Monopoly game.
Oh, Steve. A little bit of zone defense to start off tonight, so that's a surprise right from the start for the Perth Wildcats. Matty Burston has a couple of cracks at it. But this could be a game where the Perth Wildcats experiment just a little bit to have a look at a few different options and fine-tune some of their stuff as they prepare for their first-round playoff, either against the Blaze or the Crocs.
Wagstaff backs in the smaller Tommy Greer. He's one of those matchup problems because he's got the ability to stick the three-point shot, so on those pick and pops, he flares out. He's got that long range, so big guys have trouble guarding him. Plus, he catches it out there and on the pull-through, on the rip-through, he's hard to slide with the big guys, and he gets the smaller guy on his back, like on that occasion. Gets fouled and goes to the line.
He is, and he's another one of the probably one of the unsung heroes of this team. I know he's getting a little bit more profile these days, but he's worth his weight in gold. And there's one way to beat the press, just go straight over the top, and with a long ball, full court pass by Myron Allen. And when it comes to extended pressure, there's really been the Perth Wildcats and the New Zealand Breakers, and I guess you throw the Gold Coast Blaze into the mix as those that have really excelled at that type of strategy. And not surprising that the Perth Wildcats have got the horses. Both those teams, all three teams, are going to figure in the playoffs, and they've got the depth because it is labour intensive when you're trying to extend that defence full court. Benny Lewis comes up short, and just going through the records here, and haven't done a thorough investigation, but I believe this is Benny Lewis's first start in the NBL.
Kevin Lish from outside the three-point line. He rips into that one. The Perth Wildcats up 5-0.
And this is really important for the Melbourne Tigers to get a good start when you're playing for nothing. If this game gets taken away from them pretty early, it's hard to see how they're going to have that fight to stay with it. Good interior ball movement, though. Lucas Walker down low with a little shuffle pass into Matty Burston. Like the look of that. The interior guys working in tandem. And that is textbook play to break the zone. Get it inside, little penetration, draw the help. And without those man-to-man responsibilities, good interior work by the Melbourne Tigers.
And Lucas Walker just lurking around in that short corner position, which is so difficult to defend by a zone defense because the middleman's not sure whether he should pick him up or the guy that is covering the wing and the baseline.
It's what Tim says, though.
Melbourne Tigers throw a look at their full court extended pressure. And although when you're playing, it can be annoying to go up against this press. It's good preparation the Tigers are providing for the Wildcats because they're going to see a bit of this come playoff time as well.
Get the ball.
That ball stuck up there on the top and
just comes down.
There it goes. There you are.
Looked like it was going to get stuck inside that light and easy box.
No, I definitely had Neville on that one.
And you look like, Steve, you've been on the light and easy plan, my friend. Fading away.
17 kilos since the beginning of the season.
Well done. And look at this. The Melbourne Tigers throwing a bit of medicine that the Perth Wildcats normally dish up straight back at them.
There's Kevin Lish going to work. Eventually out to Wagstaff. Damian Martin with his three comes up short. Lucas Walker grabs a rebound over the rim. In his normal fashion. Good feed from Allen. Gets it to Burston. Goes against his old club. Matt Burston, of course, started his career with the Perth Wildcats, number 22 on all-time games played for the Perth Wildcats.
We spoke about the Perth Wildcats and how great they've been the last 6 games, averaging 92 points and 40% from the three-point line. In contrast, the Melbourne Tigers, they have been, as expected, quite woeful. They've only been averaging, over the last 6 games, 70 points and shooting at 28% from the three-point line. And in fact, Steve, only one player is averaging more than 30%, well, 31% or more on the Melbourne Tigers active roster right now, and that's Ron Dorsey at 32%. So they have been drawing blanks from the land of plenty.
They sure have. I wouldn't have thought that Ron Dorsey was hitting that percentage, even though it's not great. Allen trying to find ways to get into that zone. Lewis not able to get it. Walker takes a bump. Eventually gets it out to Burston.
And a bit of a statement tonight with Ron Dorsey coming off the bench. Dean Lewis getting a start as Myron Allen goes off the dribble. Tries to get to the paint. He's called for the foul. But you don't want to read too much in it because it's a dead rubber. But wouldn't think that would give him tremendous confidence about what might lie ahead in the off-season. There's just a woeful pass.
Wagstaff finds Lish. Tip on Sean Redditch. He can score in about a million different ways.
And again, the Achilles heel for the Melbourne Tigers has been on the glass. And how casual was that? Sean Redditch just wanders in there. A nice two by Lucas Walker. Good body control, and with the left hand goes up nicely. Look at the effort by Lucas Walker. That's inspirational stuff by number 2-4 for the Melbourne Tigers.
Allen with the dribble penetration.
25.
I tell you, that'd be heartwarming for Trevor Gleeson, who over the last couple of weeks just feels like that the tide is well and truly against him. But those sorts of hustle plays by Lucas Walker at both ends of the floor just gives you that bit of spirit amongst the group. That type of behaviour, albeit that the season's over, can be very infectious.
Burston with the medium range shot, and that's what the Tigers are hoping for, a spark from somebody. Greg Hires into the game for Perth. Sean Redditch off the mark outside the three-point line. Another rebound for Lucas Walker.
Good hold! Good hold!
They get it to Allen. Melbourne looking to tie it up. For the three, pull ahead with a 1-point lead. Lewis didn't catch it clean. Shoots the three off the mark. Redditch and Burston going for the rebound. Burston to the finish. Martin.
Excuse me, Steve. Steiger's doing a great job on the boards, on the offensive boards. 7 rebounds in total. You can see the confidence in the Perth Wildcats from the perimeter. And a turnover. Charge to the Melbourne Tigers. That's their 3rd turnover already. So anytime you got more turnovers than assists, generally not a good sign. And
good.
Only playing 4.5 minutes, but already the Tigers got 3 turnovers and 2 assists.
Wagstaff goes out for the Wildcats. Martin finds Jeremiah Truman. He can't hang on to Burston with all kind of defensive pressure on him. Eventually they get it out to Allen. Allen goes baseline. Redditch does a good job of sliding with him. Tommy Greer for 3. It's not close. Higher. Clear path to the basket, and he shoots a little floater off the window. Good screen by Redditch. Good heads-up play.
It was. The defensive transition by the Tigers were poor. They need to get back and protect that paint. And that little screen became so effective because there was no weak side help because they're still in transition mode.
Extra pass to Burston. His reverse layups off the mark. Allen at the three-point line. Floating right. It's the soft leaner to go.
And that's That's what he does better. When he goes to his right, he generally pulls up for the jumper. With his left, he's more inclined to go all the way to the basket. And like it has been with some of the great shooters, they prefer to go with their non-preferred when they're pulling up for the shot. As we see Myron Allen just on the ground, just disgusted with himself with that pass.
Just trying to make it happen a little too aggressively. They're down by 3. Wildcats 14. Melbourne Tigers 11.
Why make things any more complicated? Deal with the car finance experts first.
Petrol blower or petrol chainsaw, $97 each. The big one. On now, your local Home Timber and Hardware. The proper hardware store.
Welcome back. Spoke to Rob Beveridge before the game, and I asked him how impressed he was with the defense that they played against the Townsville Crocs last week.
Well, obviously defence wins championships, and that's what we keep talking about. And I thought in that third and fourth quarter that was championship defence, and that's what we're hoping to do tonight as well.
What do you put in place to not let your team have a mental letdown against the Tigers, who haven't had a great year?
Well, I think it's all about momentum, that we want to make sure that when we go into the playoffs next week, whoever we play, that we're feeling confident. So right now, the game against Melbourne could be a danger game for us if we go in a little bit complacent at all.
And that's what they've been good at over the years. The good teams are able to play the same type of basketball no matter who their opponent is.
Well, that's right. And tonight, when you talk about that confidence, it's a collective thing. We want to go in to win, but also individually try and get the guys going and use it to eradicate any bad thoughts that some of your players might currently have. And as I said, experiment a little bit if you have to. Try and refine things, prepare for your next game or next series, whoever that may be against. And the Wildcats have been pretty solid on the road this season, Steve. They're 8-5, so surprisingly, they've dropped a couple at home, 2 against Adelaide in particular, that when you consider the fortress that they have there, one of the most amazing home court advantages in the season. They're 10-4 at home. But last Friday, when they just had their way with the Townsville Crocs. Just very impressive because the players are in playoff mode as we take a look at the foul, but the fans are also in playoff mode over there as well in Perth. And there's just a sea of red and just a fantastic environment to watch on television, to play in, and more importantly, to support the home team. So great stuff by the Perth Wildcats fans.
We'll be there on the first game of Series 1 of the NBL playoffs. Looking forward to going to the jungle and calling a game there. We'll join Lockie Reed as we try and get him to tone down his level of excitement. Good luck.
He does a great job.
Oh, sure does.
He wears his heart on his sleeve. He covers his bias reasonably well. So, no, it's going to be a fun series, that one.
He was MVP of those openers before the game when we were doing those.
That's why we had to get rid of him, making us look shocking. MVP. We need to go back and have a count of the votes.
Lucas Walker pulls down another board. And a war on the boards tonight. Lucas Walker's already got 6 caroms credited to him. Back into Cam Trigah. He slings up that medium-range jump shot. Dorsey keeps it alive, but they tip it to Sean Redditch for the layup.
Looked like he was going to throw it down, but just legs not quite as bouncy as they once were. So did the wise thing and just laid it in over the rim.
You sound like you know what he's going through.
I know exactly how he feels. Lucas Walker. A bit disappointed before the game. I was talking to Cam Trigah and some of the players, and Lucas Walker not going to be playing in the off-season. He's going to take some time off, go back to the United States, but the progress that he's made during this season is one that I think would have benefited to have a little bit of a break and then get back with a state league or an SCABL team to keep developing his form. the mighty Waverley Falcons play in the State League. They're going to be stacked because they've got both Benny Lewis and joining their lineup, and they're also going to have Daniel Dillon, who played there last season. So those two guys playing together in the off season helps develop that rapport, that tandem. So good opportunity for them to get better as well.
Wildcats against this extended pressure of the Tigers. Drew Williamson.
Tim Lang coming into the game for Matty Burston.
Before you touched it. It was already out before you touched it. This way. You passed it, it was deflected, hit the line, that's out. Oh, that's what you think. It didn't get touched.
Was it deflected or not? It's...
Guys, I'm not going to argue. When he passed the ball here, it was touched. You watch the tape, you'll see. Here you go.
Oh, hello. There's the challenge is being thrown down. Have we got it on tape? That's a big challenge. I'm sure we will. We'll get that for you shortly.
Well, at least two people interested in that one. Hires got the ball pressure of Lucas Walker. Luke Neville, one bounce dribble going left. Byron Allen with the impressive rebound.
He's got that in his game, Luke Neville, but it's one of those ones when you see the big 7'1" guy putting it to the floor for the pull-up jumper. I'm not sure that Rob Beveridge would have been all that happy with that shot selection. Here we see it here. Did his finger touch that?
Oh, you can't tell. We can't get on the referees when it's that close.
He was pretty convinced he didn't touch it. And there's Ron Dorsey, but you're right. Yeah. Ron Dorsey with a sloppy, just some real sloppy work by the Melbourne Tigers on the offensive end, and they've been stuttering the last 6 weeks. And 5 turnovers now for the Tigers. That's way too many, Steve.
Robbins backing down. Byron Allen. That is a charge. That's some good take. He was really sliding those feet.
He did. And just use that strength to keep him in front, and then just got barreled over. You see, I think that last little one with the elbow is the one that cost him.
If Allen got the block, he would have really been hard done by.
That was pretty clear cut.
Tigers bring it up down by 2. Bit of a low-scoring affair. Still got a minute and a half, though. If somebody gets hot. Lucas Walker, he's off the mark. Tim Lang tries to reel in the board, but it's knocked out of bounds by Brad Robbins, who gets involved in everything.
And the Perth Wildcats do get a lot of value out of their smaller guys, particularly Damian Martin. He's had some big rebounding games throughout the course of his career for such a little fella, and that's just a huge bonus for the Perth Wildcats to have a little guy on the glass like that. He's just got a great nose for the ball, and not all that explosive, although last weekend he went down and threw one down, but on the glass he just can read it. Good timing and instinct for the ball.
Damian Martin just a little too aggressive on those hands in. Gets Lucas Walker. He goes to the line for 2 there in the bonus. Under a minute to go.
Tim.
Get another look at Damian Martin just getting his hands in there. He gets his hands in a lot.
Does he ever? Then you see the foul.
He rarely complains about a call. He goes after everything. And then when he finally gets whistled for one, he just walks away. He gathers that energy and starts being a pest again.
He would be an absolute delight to coach, the way he goes about it. No histrionics, just does his business and can help contribute in so many different facets. Well, it's been a night for experimentation, and the development player in the first quarter, Joshua Wilshire. He's played his basketball at the junior ranks at Sandringham, and he sees some very early action.
Good on him.
Big moment for him.
Wagstaff bumps into Lang, so he gathers himself. And you got to know that the Perth Wildcats play with that type of intensity in training. So they're used to bumps and grinds, and they play through the content.
Well, they do. And there's Josh Wilshire, who we were talking about. He's getting his opportunity. And good on Trevor Gleeson for giving some time to him. Have a look at him. Although it's only in one game, give him some legitimate minutes to see if he's the sort of player that they want to stick with for the future. He's only a baby. He's got a long, long way to go. And size challenges him. He'd be 5'10" at best. And I think I'm being generous to him.
Yeah, you're being very generous.
But he's quick, left-hander, got a reasonable shot on him. He's played in many of the state teams, junior state teams. And there's a nice move by Ron Dorsey.
Yeah, that's what happens when he comes around a curl cut, being aggressive, gets himself to the rim, ties it up at 18. Wildcats with the last possession of the first quarter. Martin on Wilshire. Gets through the middle. His floater rattles around and goes down. Allen from three-quarter court at about the right distance, a little off to the left. Wildcats get the last score of the first, puts them up by 2, 20-18 at the end of one.